Like your laptop.
It doesn't get more tech than this. Can I have 2 volunteers as well? I need 2 people on here, please. Don't all rush. I've got the 2. No, I've got the 2 children. I need two people. Can I have 2 people? Go on, anybody. There's one.
There's one.
Somebody else. Right. If you 2 can stand at the front, right? You'll need that one, okay? And you'll need that one. So you're going to stand down there. Right. So you actually stand, can you stand in front of the stage? No, actually on the floor. That's it, good. Can you stand over there? Not on the stage. Yes, down there. Okay, right. And you can be my music stand. Okay, rightio. Okay, about a year ago, almost exactly a year ago, during one of my lessons, one of the young students was really struggling, not with reading, not with playing, but he couldn't sight read, and his sight reading was really slowing it down. And if you talk to most people who try to read music, the thing that gets in the way is how long it takes for them to finish a piece of music. So therefore, a lot of rock musicians and everything like that, they can't see the benefit of something which takes so long to make real. So they give up on it. They don't bother with it. Yeah. But this little boy was really struggling. He had an exam coming up, and he wasn't going to pass. He was going to fail. Right? Not because he was musicianship, but when they handed him the piece of music to read, he couldn't do it. So for a few weeks before this exam, this boy's mother every day said, think of something. Right? Every lesson, will you please think of something? Right? And got to the last lesson before his exam, which is, I think, about 2 days away. And she said, will you please do something? I packed my guitar away, and I took it out again. I said, what about this? And I come up with an idea which is so amazingly simple and that nobody else has thought of before. Right? Nobody else, as soon as I saw it, right, it sort of popped into my head. It amazed me just as it amazed everybody else. Right? But it was so simple that anybody now can sight read music. You have to be able to read music first, even on a small level. Right? But to sight read music that quick is now ready for everybody. Yeah? Okay. And basically what it was, also everybody here is trying to squeeze 6 hours into 10 minutes. You see, I've got about a minute's worth to try and spread this out a bit. Right? So if you want to talk amongst yourselves, you might find it more interesting. Okay. What the problem with music reading is, right, is that the information comes at you too fast. Yeah? That one piece of music on the stave contains 2 things. We're not talking about the playing part. We're just talking about the reading of it. So each particular note on the stave contains 2 things. One, the type of note to play. Right? And of course, this works with every clef. It's not, it's not treble clef in particular. And singers, everybody. So look at that, and you see it's an A. Now, the other part of it is how long it lasts for. So you're taking this in, and you've got to think to yourself, it's an A, and it lasts for 3 beats, right? And it's too fast. Now, a demonstration. So you do go over there now, right? So, and the boy. Right. Okay, so one of them has got a dotted minim. Yep. The other one says it's an A. And now, when they run forward like that, you see, right, that was the demonstration. Right, when they run forward like that, can you do it again? Right, right. And can you do it faster? And you've got to try and catch them. All right, yes. We didn't put a lot of practice into this. Okay, ready? Go. Right, so it's hard, isn't it? Because as they come along, right, you've got to, do I go for the timing first? Do I go for the, thank you. All right, do I go for the timing first, or do I go for the name of the note? Most people actually go for the name of the note first. They look at it and go, it's an A, it's a G, it's an E. Oh, thank you, my assistant. Right, yes? So they go through the whole thing, just naming the notes. Yeah. But what I came up with was something very, very, very simple. Was that. Right? Instead of saying it's a minim, if you think about this, to say an A note that lasts for 3 beats, it actually takes 4 beats to say. So if you go an A note that lasts for 3 beats, yeah? So you're running behind yourself right from the start, aren't you? If you're counting for 4 beats to say something that a note has to be played in 3 beats, you can't keep up with it. And that's been the problem that everybody has struggled with over all these years. So if you change it into this, just call it a 3-beat A. So on here, you've got a dotted minute, and you've got a quaver. So instead of breaking it into the little component parts, you turn it into one part and just call it a 3.5-beat A. Right, in one go. The next one, okay, it's just a 4-beat G. So it's just one bit of information, one go. Next one, you see, you've got a 1-beat F, and you've got a half-beat D at the end of it. Now, when I discovered this, just popped into my head, after the first lesson with this boy, I went off to my next lesson, and I said to the little girl, can you read this? And this works with any piece of music. There's nothing to buy. It's all free. Yeah, it's for every musician to use, every school to use. Anybody who wants this can just have it. Yeah, it's basically my contribution. Yeah, after all these years of the money I've earned from playing and teaching, just giving something back, really. Right. So this little girl looked at it, and she could read it, but also problem with the time. It wasn't this, but she just looked at it and went, it's a 3-beat A, it's a 4-beat G, it's a 1-beat F, it's a half-beat D. Yeah? And she went straight through the bar lines as well. She didn't stop at the bar lines to see what come next. And so all through every lesson during that day and then the week, everybody I gave it to, and there's some of them are 5, some of them are retired, they're all sitting there going, it's a 3-beat G, it's a 4-beat A, all the way through. Now, having got that, and it was understood, they're all going, this is easy. Then when they sat there with their guitars, of course, their main focus now wasn't reading the music, because that's now become manageable. They just had to work out how to play it. Right? So the presentation and the actual finding the notes on the fretboard become the main focus, not the reading. The reading was feeding what they needed to play. And that was the main thrust of the whole thing. Everything become easy. Right, thank you. That's lovely. Now, what's the other thing is about reading music? There's a lot of musicians, particularly like rock guitar players, and most of them, they play mainly by ear, and they reject reading music out of hand as some sort of like dead art, I suppose. Right? They don't see how it works. But they're making a mistake, because if you can read a piece of music, the knowledge that's wrapped up in that piece of music, the scales, yes, everything else, will feed their creativity. But because everything takes so long when you read a piece of music, they can't find any interest at all. People, for all these people who are very naturally talented, and they work so hard, right, if they could channel not just their natural skills, but into the mechanical side of how things work, they would become much better musicians. Right? And that's what they want, because there's a problem with all natural musicians. You say all, it can't be right. There's a problem with most natural musicians, is they can only work with people who they know, in the style that they know. They're not too keen to go out and join a jazz band, right, or even play in a folk band, right, because they feel that they're out of their depth. They think that what other people know is cleverer than what they know. And it isn't true, because every piece of music, every style is written in a key. And if you understood how a scale worked, and you do that from reading music, you could go and play anywhere. And you then take your natural skills, natural talents, and generate every music you like, right? And that's the main thing, because people don't understand that a piece of music, like everything else, has to be written in a scale. And if you knew how to read that piece of music well, you would be able to utilize the scale very quickly, right? Something I always do, right, is if you imagine you have a scale, right, just one scale in the middle, and you muddle that scale up, right, and then you repeat it in a muddled up form, it becomes a tune. And the tune then can be written down, and people enjoy it. Take the same scale, muddle it up, but don't repeat it, it becomes a guitar solo, or anybody solo. So therefore, a guitar solo, or any sort of solo, and a piece of music are exactly the same thing. Right? And if people who could generally naturally improvise, could read their music and enjoy reading their music because they get to the end of it quicker, right, then they'll all be better musicians, and they'll see how a scale works and get a lot out of it. Yep. right? And the Stave Breakthrough idea works not just with the notation, but it works with scales. If you look at a piece of music, I've sent my assistant away. If you, they'll be back. Thank you. There we are. When you look at a piece of music and you see a scale, when people look at this, they tend to, again, look at the sharps and not really think it's generally in the scale or something. So when they play their music, they think, oh, I've got to sharp my Fs, right? And then passing glance to the fact it's in G, right? So people then also start to think that the scale of G is easier to play than, say, the scale of E, right? Because one's got 4 sharps, one's got 1 sharp. But it's not true at all. They're all exactly the same. Every scale is the same. You either know what you're looking at and you can use it, don't know what you're looking at, and you can't do it. So what Stave Breakthrough works for is this. If you've got 1 sharp, if you're learning the names of the scales, you can just say, okay, just call it a 1 sharp G, right? Or if it's a D, you say, oh, it's a 2 sharp D, yeah? Or whatever it be. If it's an F, as I said, it works in all the different clefs, you just call that a 1 flat F. Now, then you take a run at that again, but this time you call it a 1 sharp G, F sharp. This one you call a 1 flat F, and the flat is B flat. So suddenly now, all these things are happening quick. So it's a 3 sharp A, C sharp, F sharp, G sharp. So everything or anything which makes reading the music more accessible and more dynamic will allow every type of music to be played by every type of musician. There is no drawback anymore. There's no reason why somebody can't sit down and learn how to play a piece of music. And from there, hopefully with their teacher's help, they will learn how to be creative from the piece of music. So if you've got this much natural skills and that much mechanical skills, you can't do it really. Yeah, you're over here, but you're on your own. Bring the mechanical skills up to the natural skills, yeah, and bind them together. You can do what you like. And that's what a musician should be doing. A musician should be free thinking, should be active, should be out there doing stuff. And but they have to have a foundation. All the people here in the Tech Fest, they're not just winging it. They understand how the mechanics of it works. Yeah, when they solder something together, it's not luck that they soldered it together. It's not natural ability, right? The natural ability is recognizing when something just worked, which it's supposed to. What happened? And if you can't backtrack that, you can't find that mistake that created something new, you can't function because you'll never find it again. So it's the same deal with all these things here, with all this stuff. You just really have to know your job. But music reading isn't just for people who study reading music. Reading music is for everybody who plays an instrument. Yeah, and that's what Stave Breakthrough does. Okay, so my name's Len Collins. StaveBreakthrough.co.uk is the website. And if you want to talk to me afterwards, I'll be here. Right, thank you.
Len, thank you so much. I don't know if you can help with memory, though. I actually learned to read music to grade 8 level in my 20s 3 times over and forgot it 3 times over as well. But I guess that comes from not playing an instrument while you're reading the music. But thank you so much, Len.